welcome you back to Paradise. Dave O'Brien alongside my man Dan Dockage. Baylor has jumped into the top 20, Dan, since the start of the season after a very nice run. Jonathan Motley at 6'10", a big reason why.
You know, our friend Fran Frisella says he's the best forward in the SEC, and I got to tell you, he looks that way to me. He is a tremendous athlete. He shoots the basketball, the Big 12. He shoots the basketball very well. He's averaging 14 and a half, but I tell you, going against VCU, havoc still reigns at VCU. Shaka Smart may be gone, but you're going to see a defense that swarms, and Motley's going to have to play inside out.
Let's give you a look at the starting lineups. They're brought to you by Atlantis Paradise Island. And for Baylor, the center, Luol Achul, is a 7-footer. He brings some really good size to today's game. VCU gets balanced scoring. Jaquan Lewis leading them with 11 points per game. But they have guys up and down the lineup who are shooting it very well. 53% as a team coming into this one. 41% beyond the three-point line. Baylor tends to play very, very well in these early regular season tournaments. Under Scott Drew, they are 23-11 in these tournaments in the regular season.
Yeah, and this year is a little bit different for Baylor. They've really wore the, hey, no respect. We're not ranked. We weren't ranked. And they wore that like a badge. Now they're in the top 20 where they should be. The win over Oregon, Dylan Brooks, Dylan Brooks was absolutely no fluke. This is a very, very talented, very athletic Baylor team.
Up against the Rams, Will Wade, who was certainly under the microscope last year when VCU chose him to replace a star in Shaka Smart, who left for Texas. But Wade had been an assistant under Smart, then a head coach himself at Chattanooga, and he showed he's ready.
Yeah, no question about it. And he kept the havoc style. You know, we're going to pick up full court. We're going to attack on offense. We're going to take the ball to the rim. There's been no slowdown in there. Now, give Wade credit. You know, they lost to Queens College in an exhibition game, which you're not supposed to do when you're in an elite program, and VCU's an elite program, but they've bounced back nicely.
Well, we're underway, and immediately it gets to Freeman, who will lay it up and in over the leaping Williams.
That's just dumb luck. I mean, that's just the ball going into your hands, but you know what? If you hustle, it happens.
So Baylor strikes first. VCU coming in 3-0 in a November tournament. That could go a long way to determining their NCAA tournament resume. And the coaching staff of the Rams not bashful about telling the kids that you got to win a couple of games here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you look at what happens.
Heisey with the save over his shoulder, comes back to Freeman.
I'm sorry. You look at what happens, and we have Joe Lunardi on later on in the year and all that kind of stuff. These games become massive because they're neutral site games. It's not just a win. It's a win away from your home, no matter who gets the win.
Over the top, nice hesitation. Your man Motley with his first stuff of the day. Could be many more.
Yeah, bad defense, but better offense. He moved Burgess up the lane, and Burgess had no chance as the court was spread. Really good coaching by Scott Drew to spread the court and isolate Motley. Obi, I'm telling you, I don't know if it's the, what do you call these uniforms? The Sharpie uniforms or the highlighter uniforms? I don't know, but Motley looks enormous.
He looks even bigger.
Oh, my gosh.
Scramble on the deck. Wainwright off the LeConte, and the finish up and in by Luol Achul, who is 7 feet tall from Melbourne, Australia.
And Achul ran the floor, beat everybody down the court. Now, he ran past 3 guys to get that layup.
And now you're seeing that Baylor 1-1-3, and that's one way you can beat that with a long-distance shot off the wing by Lewis.
Yeah, inexcusable. Lewis is the real shooter out there, and Wainwright just kind of came out like he was another guy. You've got to come out with high hands and make Lewis put the ball on the floor.
Motley with another touch. Backing down into the lane. A lot of contact there. The swing up top for Freeman. Quick step to his right, and one. He'll be at the line.
Yeah, what a great decision by both Freeman and Wainwright. Look, Motley could have thrown this ball up at the rim, and that's what it would have been, not a shot. Wainwright's a good shooter. You see here, he's double teamed, so he kicks it. Wainwright's a good shooter, not a great shooter. This kid here, Freeman, is a scorer, and you see right there, great hands to flip it in. Look at these hands. Flip.
Hamdi with the foul, picks up number 1, the 6'9" senior. Loose ball on the baseline, taken in by Lewis, who comes in averaging 11 and hitting 44% beyond the three-point line. He wants another one, and he sticks that too.
You can't let him. You just can't let him get his feet together. And he got his feet together, squared his shoulders, and when he does it, he's about a 55% three-point shooter.
Foul right there in midcourt. Back to the shot by Lewis.
This hand up right here is nothing. Right, see the hand? There's nothing there. You have to run at him, and you have to make him put it. The hand right there, nothing. It's like the sight of a gun for Lewis. It just aims him when you put a weak hand up.
The senior was named to the preseason A-10 all-defensive team, but obviously he can shoot it too. Had an outstanding run, as you see there, in the NCAA tournament, averaging about 22 points a game in their 2 contests. Banging, Motley wants it, in strong, no roll for him.
Well, that was great defense that time by Burgess. Instead of giving an angle like he did last time.
Lewis traveling there, he'll give it right back.
Yeah, well, instead you can't give, when you're smaller, you can't give a bigger guy an angle. So what Burgess did at the last defensive possession, and this is something for fans to watch the whole game, you have to make number 5 Motley score over number 20 here, Burgess. Burgess is physically strong. Don't give an angle. Make Motley go over you, not around you.
Now Motley's 6'10", Burgess 6'5", and they give it right back. Lewis on the attack. Jonathan Williams, the 6'1" junior, running the point for the Rams. Lewis with another jumper. Oh, he's hot right away.
I'll tell you what, he jumped up, lifted up really nice. He's got all of them.
He has tied the game at 8, 3 for 3 from the field. Motley way away from the basket, finally gets it to Lecant. Manu Lecant, who is the point guard from Belgium, on the baseline, stripped away from the 7-footer.
Yeah, and that's the havoc. Hands everywhere.
Williams finds the open man, Doty. And back to the point guard to set it up now for the Rams. He'll take the jumper. It'll be no basket, and the foul against VCU.
Yeah. Mo Alley Cox came in. He's arguably their best player along with Lewis. He doesn't start, so they can keep him out of foul trouble. They feel like he gets a look at the game, and 1 minute in, he gets offensive foul, and he's coming right back out.
And Justin Tillman, a junior from Detroit, who sat out the last couple of games with a foot injury, takes his place. Wainwright lost it in midcourt, and it's going to be over and back. It's going to be a violation. And again, great hustle by the Rams. That's been said before.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan Williams will get Indy, and he'll be the first, well, I guess the second on the floor. But Wainwright just messed around with the basketball. Against pressure, you have to go north and south, Obi. You can't mess around with it between your legs. You can't dance with it. You just got to go at the defender against a good defensive guard.
Wainwright, the Bears' only scholarship senior, back to the bench. Doty trying to get them in front, but he can't hit that jumper. And it's going to roll out of play and stay on this end.
Jaquan Lewis taken right off where he left off last year in the NCAA tournament. Lewis has to be guarded. Look how easy these shots are. These are layups for Jaquan Lewis. If you remember, that guy right there, Scott Drew, took over an absolute tragic mess. I mean, Dave Bliss had put the program in an untenable situation, and it's one of the great rebuilding jobs in the history of college basketball. You know, just to get Baylor this good without taking over a mess would have been historic. But the mess that he took over, Scott Drew, and then doing what he's done has put it, you know, I think, again, in the top rebuilding jobs ever.
Well, Scott now in his 14th year at Baylor. He's the school's all-time winningest coach. And a foul will go against T.J. Maston. Really important guy off the bench, a sophomore from Houston.
You see Scott talking there, his brother, Bryce, more well-known. I mean, he was a player. You know, he shot in the NCAA tournament against Mississippi. But the job Scott Drew has done, I'm telling you, is absolutely second to none. Do you like their uniforms, Obi?
I am getting used to them.
I kind of like them.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
They stand out.
Yeah, I do.
And, I mean, for an island tournament, they're just perfect, actually. There's a shove with 15-17 to go in a half. So I'm getting to like them. The foul will go against Lecant. Manu Lecant with the name of a European soccer player. Yeah, they'll grow on you.
Yeah.
And that's the intention of the Bears, to make them grow on you as a viewer, because they want to be here all the way to Friday. Doty on the drive, trying to get past Freeman, to pull up pop. and it won't drop for him. So the Bears to set it up, coming in ranked number 20. And not one of those teams dominated by freshmen. Their starting lineup averages 22 years. On the back down. Flipping that up, and it won't roll in for Maston. The second effort goes.
Boy, is Maston a good-looking player. He's long, he's strong up top with pretty good shoulders. And as you saw there, really good touch. Now, in this zone, they're going to have to move quicker. I think Baylor's been very slow in this zone. You can play any zone you want as long as you move fast. Ball's going wherever it wants to go. It's a little better possession.
Shot clock down to 9. He tosses it in.
Yeah, the reason he's able to toss that in, Obi, is VCU is very comfortable in their offense. You know, the zone is supposed to make you uncomfortable. The 1-1-3 is different. You don't see it that often. So you should be uncomfortable as an offense, but they're not playing it hard enough. And so Jonathan Williams throws in a floater because he's comfortable.
He may be the most improved player in the A-10. Really come a long way, the point guard. 9 to get off a shot now. Lindsay fires to the corner. Freeman, shot clock down to 2. On the run, he can't hit it, but a blocking foul with 13:45 to go in the half.
Yeah, this is a tough shot Williams hit. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that tough for a guy that plays a lot of basketball, but it's easier when you're comfortable. Like somebody at home may say, oh, what are you talking about? That's a really hard shot. Look, it's 10 feet, and he's made those shots. But you don't make those shots if you're on edge, if you're on your heels. And as I said, Baylor is not putting VCU on their heels.
Tillman with the foul. Looked like a hard shot for me.
Well, I mean,
for the average guy, that's a really hard shot. He's not an average guy.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, and there's a pick.
This is an easier shot.
Indeed. And I don't know if anybody is going to have a better beard in college basketball all season long than Jonathan Williams.
Oh, fear the beard, baby. J-Dub's got it going on. It's got to go into the post. It had to go into the post there. You're struggling on offense. Get it to your best player in the best spot.
Motley trying to get closer. Draws the double team. An offensive foul.
Oh, that's fine. Motley needs to give that up, but still, that's the right play. You got to give it to the best player, and Burgess just tricked him. Oh, but you don't leave a ball hanging out there. You want to throw a soft pass right here? No, not against these guys. You throw a soft pass, a pass with a hump, and if VCU's going to take it, they're going to dunk. Look at this, a little flip, soft pass. No. They're like, you know how they say cornerbacks in the NFL have closing speed?
Yep.
That's what these guys have at VCU. They have great closing speed on the ball.
Well, they sure do. Williams near the top of the list. And the Bears bring back on the 7-footer Luala Chewell from Melbourne, Australia. A lot of attention on Lewis in that corner. Lindsay bottles him up. Shot clock down to 4 now. And that's a travel.
That's because Lindsay was able, as you said, he bottled up the drive. In every other possession, whenever VCU wanted to drive, they just went where they wanted to go. But Lindsay got down in the stance, contained his own man. Nobody had to help, and it made VCU play a little fast.
Jake Lindsay, the sophomore's dad, Dennis, the general manager of the Utah Jazz. McClure giving it up to the 7-footer.
Utah Jazz fans have to feel dumb for booing Gordon Hayward when they drafted him. He's been a really good pro.
McClure tied up, and they're going to win it on a possession error to go over to VCU on another fine defensive play.
Can't drive too deep against VCU because their hands are so good. You've got to make the defender just come at you a second and then get rid of it. Don't go too deep. I don't know who I'm talking to there saying don't go too deep because Baylor can't hear me, but you're not supposed to go too deep against a defense like that.
De'Riante Jenkins, a highly touted freshman from South Carolina, now on for the Rams. And Chuck Mitchell, a freshman and a scoring guard in high school. He is on the floor now for the Bears. The Bears need someone to find the basket because the last 5 minutes they've turned it over 4 times. They've scored only 3 points.
Yeah, and Mitchell's the guy. I mean, he's 3,000 points in high school, 1,000 points in his senior year, which is remarkable to me.
Now looking for help, Doty gets it off here for Crowfield. He's also a freshman who averaged 25 a game in high school in Louisiana. Lewis way downtown. Not there for him. Doty grabs the board, and it's blocked by the 7-footer. Luol Achuel with the block there to prevent an easy shot. And one, and a terrific drive by Al Freeman. And he'll be at the line.
Man, Al Freeman's just one of those guys that can just go score. He took it right into the chest of the defender.
Well, the Maui Jim Maui Invitational coming your way, all part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's at the Lahaina Civic Center in Maui, Hawaii. The championship game is set. Wisconsin. Can anybody slow down North Carolina, though? That's at 9:30 on ESPN2. Who do you like?
Well, I like North Carolina. I think North Carolina is playing tremendous. But Wisconsin, if they get a big game out of Ethan Happ, you can throw the ball to Ethan Happ, and Ethan Happ can go get fouled. That slows Carolina down. I thought Carolina yesterday getting up and down the court. You let them do that, you got no chance.
No, I'm not sure anybody does if they can run like that. Consolation game is Georgetown and Oklahoma State. That's at 7:30 this evening. Well, this one, Baylor 13, VCU 12 here in the first half. Wichita State was outstanding and running right by LSU in game 1 today.
Have you seen a better performance all year than that?
I have not.
Maybe
not yet.
Kansas against Michigan State, I guess. They ran them out, but
I expected a closer game, a harder fought game, and it didn't materialize because the Shockers were just too good.
Yeah.
Now, this one we expect to come right down to the wire between the Rams and the Bears. That's going to go the other way. 11:39 to go in the half. And a foul will go against the Rams. And Mo Alley Cox has picked up 2.
He's not even played 2 minutes, and he's picked up 2 fouls. He was backing down the defender, and he did it right in front of the official. And you know what? He was displacing, and Coach Wade did not like it. Right here, you're going to see Matt backs him down. That's not a foul to me. That's just basketball.
And another whistle stopping the clock here. But we have seen this fairly frequently in the early games of the season. And we're going to have a technical foul. Indeed, we are. A technical here against VCU.
Well, the officials were looking at the bench after the foul because Coach Wade kind of threw his fist, spun around, and that draws the attention. And then if you say anything after that, you got a problem. And technical was called.
The count makes 1 of 2.
I don't blame Coach Wade for getting a technical. You're trying to keep Mo Alley Cox out so that one of the reasons they're keeping him out is so that he can get a feel for the game. He's their best player and come in and not foul. And you call a little cheap foul, guys battling in the post. Got to protect your player a little bit.
Well, you've talked about displacement, and that's an emphasis this season.
It is, particularly right in front of the official. I mean, this was not one of those deals where he got a second look. You know, the second guy that commits the foul. This was easy.
Coach Wade still upset. On the drive, Freeman, terrific defensive play from behind there by Jenkins, and another whistle with 11:15 left in the half. Let's go back to Wade, upset a couple of moments ago in the second foul by Mo Alley Cox.
Well, you know, you can see he's barking. And this was after that he had spun around and been very dramatic. Now, whether he deserved it based on what he said there, who knows? But once you do that, the officials have a tendency to look at you and have a little short fuse.
Mitchell with the foul for Baylor. So Williams to set up the offense. Brooks feeding Lewis, who had a hot hand early. Back to Brooks for the corner. You've talked about Jonathan Motley, who came in averaging 14.5 points and 7 rebounds a game. Also an outstanding shot blocker.
Yeah, he's going to be Baylor's all-time leading shot blocker.
Williams with the scoop, can't get that to go. They are going to count that. That's going to be goaltending.
Yeah, Williams made a really nice move. I tell you what, Williams is a fun kid to watch. He plays hard. Look how low he gets. Right there, he's low, so he's strong. And you're going to see right there. The ball's tapped after it hits the backboard. That's the goaltender.
Now, the coaches have been raving about the work that Williams has done on his shooting improvement. They think he's the most improved shooter, maybe in the league, coming into the A-10.
Well, he has to be, because the scouting report on him was to play off of him on a ball screen and make him shoot jump shots.
And that foul will go against Jenkins of VCU off the ball. And so it'll be Motley to the line to shoot, and shooting quickly.
I think that every officiating crew should watch the tape of the first game that we had today. They didn't call these fouls, like I say it slowly, these fouls like this. Jenkins was just trying to front Motley there. They're just playing post defense. And a foul was called. I thought the first game was the best officiated game that I've seen maybe all year.
I thought they were outstanding, too.
Because they didn't call those little touches.
And there was a flow to the game.
Yes.
Even though it turned out to be a blowout, there was a flow to it.
I agree. This one, even though this, as you said, a closer game, no real flow yet. That's not right.
Now Baylor taking a 17-14 lead after the Motley foul shot. VCU has yet to shoot one. Back up top, Williams looking inside. Shot clock down to 11. Brooks on the wing. Shot clock down to 5. And the bounce feed inside. The hook shot won't fall for Hamdi. 6'9" senior from Egypt. He's their best back to the basket low post man. LeConte knocks that one in. Manu LeConte, the 5'11" junior, for 2.
That's just individual offense right there, because Lewis was guarding him and guarding him hard. And Lewis is a very capable defender, but just nothing you can do.
That's a kickoff Wainwright, so VCU will keep it back to LeConte.
Yeah, this is just one guy going ahead and beating a defender. I mean, this is like the point guard that calls one and just keeps dribbling until he gets a shot, but this is just a sweet move.
Point guard transfer from Miami, sat out last year. Hamdi in close where he likes it.
You know what? Hamdi did a great job there. He used his rear end and got it right on the thighs of Anseal, and just there was nowhere for him to go. He couldn't jump. He was locked in, and Hamdi just went right over him.
19-16 Baylor. Entry pass inside for Motley, kind of stumbling his way in, and a foul.
Watch how Hamdi uses his rear end here and just backs down into the block. Look right there, he's on his thighs right there, and there's nothing you can do when you go into the middle part of the defender. Right there, he blocks him from being able to jump. 7-footer couldn't get off the ground. It was really good post offense.
Under 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Last spring, VCU lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament. That's going to be a travel. They went 25-11 and tied for first in the A-10 with Dayton. And taking on a Baylor team they have not faced since 1998. LeConte giving it up. He's been their best shooter from three-point land at 44%. Bounces for the 7-footer, and an easy slam for Luol-Acuil.
Well, that was really, really nice action by Scott Drew and the Baylor Bears. They moved guys underneath. LeConte came from underneath, out, and then found the cutting Acuil.
So 21-16 Baylor. In close, and again the 6'9" product of Alexandria, Egypt, knocks in 2.
Yeah, he just buried him again. Acuil has to fight it earlier and get Hamdi off of that spot. Get him outside of the paint, or at least close to outside the paint.
Now, Will Wade says if Hamdi's in the best shape of his life, they're expecting a very big season. The foul stops the clock here with 7:57 to go in the half.
This isn't supposed to be the way it is. Group of coaches, too. Jeff Capel, Anthony Grant, Shaka Smart, now Will Wade keeping this going. I mean, it is truly one of the great places to watch a game and one of the elite basketball programs in the country. They've maintained success for a while now.
They turn them out, too. Fans, 85 consecutive sellouts at VCU.
You know what I like about it, Obi? They have a style of play that they're committed to, they recruit to, and they don't waver from. Havoc, they're going to get after you, and kids take pride in it. I think it's great.
Last foul before the break went against Baylor on Mitchell, his second, and they're really centering on Hamdi in the middle.
Well, they found something. You try to get comfortable offensively. Sometimes it's a movement. Sometimes it's an individual matchup. This time it's a matchup with Hamdi against Acuil.
He suddenly has 6 points.
Just burying. I mean, look at the position. Okay, a little ball screen. Now, there's no one around. And You talking about a senior? He's played against size. He's not intimidated by anybody.
Freeman off to Motley. Wants to fire it up there, but too strong.
Jordan Burgess is doing a great job. He is all over Motley early, forcing him off the block.
Well, that's a name tied to VCU success. His brother Brad was part of that 2011 Final Four team, and that's going to be a trip and a foul. And they're going to get Brooks for that personal.
I remember when Shaka Smart was recruiting Jordan Burgess. He thought that Jordan had potential to be a better scorer coming in. It hasn't really happened that way. But I remember Shaka talking about this kid right here, thinking he was going to be the next superstar at VCU.
Those numbers coming in, 7.6 rebounds a game now as a senior. But a guy who does a lot of the dirty work.
He's a tough guy, and he's been a very good player from the time he's arrived. Obi, I coached AAU basketball against Ish Wainwright, this kid here, and I'm telling you, when they were in 8th grade, I've never seen a better body than this kid in my life. Like, he walked in one of those tank top T-shirts, and I'm like, okay, that guy's a senior in college somewhere.
Right.
Played on an AAU team out of Kansas City, really good AAU team. He was terrific.
He's the only scholarship senior on the Baylor Bears. Not that they're terribly young, but he's the only scholarship senior. Omni again with a touch. This time they double him up. Williams to penetrate the teardrop. Rebound by Doty. Had to make an adjustment. Draws the foul, and he'll be at the line.
Well, that time, Achul did a much better job of getting Omni off of or out of the paint, but nobody rotated over on the shot to help out on the backboard.
So VCU will go to the line for the first time. And a freshman from Philadelphia, Doty, who sat out last year as a partial qualifier. And Will Wade says he's probably the most talented scorer on the team.
You can see it. And, you know, he's got long arms. He's got a really nice stroke. He's another one of those guys, when he goes to the basket, he keeps his chin on the rim so he can play through contact even though he's skinny.
Baylor by 2 and the ball here. Game 2 at the battle for Atlantis. Later on, Louisville plays. So does Michigan State. It's an outstanding field. Wichita State ran roughshod over LSU earlier today. It's all part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. Michigan State, St. John's. They go after it at 7 o'clock in an Old Dominion. And number 10 Louisville. Well, the Cardinals are really deep, really talented. 9:30. That is still to come today as Motley is at the line. Williams with the foul. And time for
Hoop Scoop!
The timing was just a little off.
Yeah, I was a little off on that one.
You're a little quick. We got 3 days to pull that together. And when we do,
I thought I waited long enough. Oh, I got to see myself. I don't like seeing myself or hearing myself.
A reach in and a foul, and Motley upset. 6:14 to go in the half.
Let's try it again.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again. Right?
All right, it's time for. No, you can't do it. You got to get the camera going over here.
Try it again.
All right, now it's time for
Hoop Scoop!
That's much better. Isn't it great that on a national network we can rehearse these things in the middle of a basketball game as Hamdi is at the line? We actually did rehearse it. And in rehearsal, it was really good.
I got nervous.
Motley to the bench. And Hamdi with another one coming, is 63% foul shooter. This is the second.
Well, Hamdi has made it really, he's been a convenience because Mo Alley Cox has obviously done nothing in this game, 2 fouls, but they haven't missed him this year yet, really. I mean, Mo Alley Cox has not played as well as he should play. Second team all-league, first team all-defense coming in. And Hamdi's been really good.
Luol Achul on the back down. 7-footer over the shoulder. Kind of a wild-looking shot and a foul. It'll go the other way. 5:49 to go in the half. O'Alley Cox has been on the bench a lot more than he's been on the floor here in the first 20 minutes. But Hamdi's been making up for that. The foul will go against T.J. Maston of Baylor. And time to shoot now for Doty again. He came in averaging 9 points, 4 rebounds a game. And the freshman makes the first.
Well, he's a confident-looking kid. Like he's talking to his teammates, telling Hamdi where to go. I mean, this is a real player here. You're going to hear a lot of great things out of Doty.
Well, he's tied the game at 24. Williams has really been sticking to the point guard LeConte, who came in averaging 17 points a game. He's been pretty quiet.
You know, the best action they've had, Baylor, is when they've ran LeConte off screens, let somebody else handle it.
Freeman penetrating, can't spin it in. Denied by the Rams in the middle. Doty jumping into the paint, lost control of it. And an outstanding play there. That should go the other way, and indeed it will. That'll be Baylor ball.
Freshman mistake. Big time freshman mistake by Doty. He just got to stop at the elbow. You're going to see this is going to go off. Oh, yeah, that's easy. Knock over the official, and away you go.
Wainwright able to keep that alive for Baylor. Trying to retake the lead, coming up on the 5-minute mark. Wainwright using a window beautifully for 2.
I'm telling you, big-time recruit out of high school. I mean, when they got him, they beat a lot of schools. It's a kid that everybody was on.
He's 6'5", but he has a wingspan of 7'2".
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough game as a guard in terms of shooting the basketball.
Hamdi again. And another whistle on the floor. 4:45 remaining in the half. Back to Wainwright on that move a couple of moments ago.
Yeah, this is what Wainwright can do. He's strong. He's got a great body. He's got lift, all that kind of stuff. And he can post you up because he is massive through the chest and the arms and the shoulders.
Now the foul on T.J. Maston. Doty will shoot again. Maston picked up his 3rd. 4 points so far for Wainwright as the freshman drops in the first one.
Yeah, I don't know how you guard in this game. Yeah, I really don't. I mean, it's like, you know, as a player right now, you may not feel it as a fan or sitting here on the side, but you feel this as a player that every time you reach in, it's going to be called a foul. And that's a tough way to play. Like we were talking about the earlier game, I felt like they were going to let him play, and you knew you could just play. You didn't have to worry about somebody making a call that maybe wasn't there.
Well, there's been some talk about the college game moving to 6 fouls, to 6 personal fouls. Do you want to see that?
I'm fine with it. You know, I don't care. I'd like to see the college game go to better officiating where they don't call every little touch and they understand the game a little better.
Zipped into Hamdi. Boy, he is a load underneath.
Kobe, he ran right there. Posted, basted, abused Achul, and Achul is given no resistance, and Hamdi's killing him.
Hamdi has put VCU in the lead by 1. Let's see if LeConte will have an answer. Williams sticking to him like glue. He forced that jump shot. Rebound batted around, and the Rams have it again, and now Lewis wants to attack. His 3-pointer. He nails it. And the tide has turned for the Rams. Now they're on top 30-26. And a timeout Baylor.
Well, it's been inside out.
He's warming up. He's warming up, Doug. Well, Kentucky 5-0. Villanova, the reigning champs, at 5-0. We're going to see Kentucky here on Monday as we're going to hang around. They're going to force us, Dan and I, to stay through the weekend and gut it out to see Kentucky and Arizona State.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see Louisville. I'm anxious because Old Dominion thinks they're pretty good. I had a chance to talk to Dennis Wolf, one of their assistant coaches yesterday, and they like their team. I mean, Louisville's really good. But that should be a pretty good game this afternoon.
Wainwright came out of the pack with it. Second effort. It never did touch the iron. So shot clock is down to 9 as that one is slapped out of play. And so the Baylor Bears will keep it. Ranked number 20 coming in. 3-0. And coming off a 9-point win over that Florida Gulf Coast team that barely lost in East Lansing amidst that controversial clock mishap. Shot clock here is down to 3. On the bounce, Freeman lets fly. Going to get another effort. Well, LeConte has been cold, averaging 17 a game, plus 7 assists. He had really been a go-to guy for the Bears, but they locked him up in the first half, and he just lost it there.
He hasn't seen anything like this. You know, that was Jaquan Lewis. Before, and mostly it's been
Williams.
Yeah, Williams. And he's played some decent teams, but he hasn't seen anything like this.
Omni the kick out for Doty. Baylor's turned it over now 10 times. Williams on the spin, fires. Rebound knocked and controlled by the Bears. Wainwright. LeConte keeps on firing. Not there for him in the first half. And Burgess with a big board.
This is what I mean by making your opponent uncomfortable. LeConte is uncomfortable. You can see it, you can feel it. Even though that was an open looking shot, he rushed that shot. That shot had no chance of going in.
Williams trying to free up Hamdi again. He's really working in that lane. Another tough shot. Partially blocked there by Luol Acuil.
Well, that time Acuil fought him harder. He just didn't give up space.
Lindsay backs away beyond the three-point line. 1:40 to go before the break. Freeman, dangerous beyond the 3. Hit a bad pass. Loose ball. Lewis scoops it up. Back here for Williams to lay it in.
Oh, man, do they get after it.
And they are fast.
Oh, they played a no-help defense right there. One of their assistant coaches was telling Williams, just stay with LeConte and don't leave him. So there was 4-on-4 with LeConte standing at half court, and the guy guarding LeConte ended up getting a steal.
Lindsay and a foul there by Doty on the baseline with 1:08 to go before halftime.
Can I complain for a second?
Sure.
I love Mike Robb. Right? This is going to be the steal. You see, they were playing 4-on-1. LeConte was just here, and then Williams beat everybody down the court. Guys are jogging for Baylor. Williams is sprinting. I was on the same angle as Mike Roberts. I love Mike Roberts. I've known Mike Roberts for years, the official.
Good official.
I was on the same angle as him. He had no chance of seeing that foul right there. I mean, when I say none, Obi, I mean 0. So I'm sitting there going, why call a foul? If there's a guy right under the bucket. I'm done.
Lindsay will hit that one.
Okay.
32-27. I trust your angle, though.
I'm telling you, I'm looking right at him, thinking, maybe it was a foul. He probably was, but he couldn't see it. No chance.
Doty wants to take the shot, banks it in.
That's what I'm talking about. He can play through contact. Keeps his chin on the rim. He leads with his body. He's a really special player offensively.
Samir Doty, the 6'4" freshman from Philadelphia, looks a couple of years older than that on the entry to the 7-footer, and Hamdi commits the foul to avoid the dunk. 37.7. NBA Wednesday, we've got a doubleheader starting at 7 o'clock. Both games are streaming live on the ESPN app, and watch ESPN. Luol Acuil to the line. Big shot blocker. In fact, in that victory over Oregon, he had 7. He had 16 blocks in the first 3 games.
Yeah, and a lot of that was from help side, meaning he was coming over off of his man and going and blocking the shot. VCU is kind of taking that out of it. Oh, great play.
That was Wainwright again. He's done that twice now, but this time it'll go over to VCU.
You know, there's a difference in coming over from help and either taking a charge or blocking a shot, or blocking the shot of the man you're guarding. And Hamdi has gotten so into Acuil's body that there is no block shot on the man you're guarding because of Hamdi's position. So what Acuil has to do is meet him earlier and get him out of the paint.
Williams will take a timeout. Coach Wade takes one here. It's 34-28 VCU right before half.
I said this in the first game. I asked my daughter, I said, I'll give you $20 jump in that tank there.
I don't think you should repeat that.
I know.
Is it just me? Am I the only one who don't think you should repeat that?
Just when I was up for Father of the Year. What a great place, though. My goodness.
Well, it's my pleasure. Well, it's supposed to be.
Right.
Here's steal by Mitchell, knocked out of play. VCU will retain it with 15 before halftime and 11 on the shot clock. And 34-28 VCU.
I think you take something at the bucket here. I think you get it in Doty's hands and you get something going to the basket. Williams, Doty.
Another 5 to shoot. Williams airborne. Oh, and a tough shot.
They can make shots. I mean, Williams, as you said, he's the hardest working guy on the team. He makes buckets.
Freeman lost it. Never did get off the last second shot. So VCU certainly had the momentum, didn't they? A 12-2 run to end the half.
Havoc is alive, Obi. There may be no Shaka Smart, but what he started has been continued. This is an impressive VCU. Get the ball away from Baylor and take it down the court. I'll tell you what, VCU plays hard, Obi, really, really hard. Baylor's going to have to match it this second half. They did in the first.
Now the Rams trying to go to 4-0 on the season and really balanced scoring.
Well, Jaquan Lewis got them off to a great start. He had the first 8 points for VCU, and it didn't stop it. This kid here has been the most valuable player, Jonathan Williams. He has gone both offensively and defensively right into Baylor. He has taken Lacombe out of the game totally. He's made him rush, and I'll tell you what, Hamby has taken up the slack. Best player, Mo Alley Cox, has not been able to play because of foul trouble. Hamby has dominated inside.
Yeah, Mo Alley Cox with a couple of quick ones and spent a lot of time on that bench as Motley has it taken away.
Well, Motley got out toughed right there by Burgess. Burgess playing a heck of a game. Nothing in the stat sheet, but he has played a great defensive game against Motley.
He'll step into an open 3, but could not nail that one. Very good beyond that 3-point line. Getting underway here in the second 20 minutes, game number 2. Wichita State blew past LSU in game 1 today in an easy victory. LeConte to his right. Here's Motley turning on the basket, trying to get in close. He uses the window, and he tips it in.
Yeah, pretty good. He got him off the block. Motley hasn't been off the block enough. He flashed to the right elbow, where he had a little bit of room against Burgess, and he was able to follow his own because of his size.
He's added more muscle the last couple of years, too.
Obi, he looks great. I mean, physically, he looks like exactly what you want to look like as a human being and certainly as a basketball player. Great-looking kid.
Preseason All-Big 12. Hamdi spinning, working, and can't get it to go, but fouled on the floor in the opening seconds of the second half here in the Bahamas. And he'll get Luol Achuel, the 7-footer, for the foul. Now, Baylor loves to play that 1-1-3 zone, and to have a 7-footer and a swatter back there is huge.
Yeah, that's why they're able to do it, because he can play. The weakness is in the corner. You're going to see Burgess would have had a 3 right there. If you're going to attack the corner, you got to attack the right side where Wainwright is. Left side of this zone, you see Motley is so long he can cover both the wing and the baseline.
Shot clock to 10. They're having some trouble getting inside that. Williams with the bump. He takes the hit. And that was with 7 on the shot clock, so a bit of a bailout.
I honestly think this game would be more fun if you and me refereed. Like if you went from the left side over here to our left in front of the Baylor bench, and I took from here on the right, this would be a far more fun basketball game, and these kids would have a blast because we wouldn't call every little bump.
I like the fact you put me on the bench side, so I'll hear it right from the coach, right in my ear the whole day.
Yeah.
Hamdi with a dribble down, knocked away from him, and it's a deflection off VCU.
Hey, great hands by Wainwright. Wainwright has done a really good job of coming over to help. He saved basketball. He's played a terrific floor game. Got to get involved in the offense, though, against the younger, smaller Doherty.
Plays bigger than 6'5", doesn't he?
He's huge. I mean, if he could really shoot it, look at this.
Here's Lewis with the quick hands up against Wainwright, who fouls him to prevent the easy basket. He'll pick up the personal.
The anticipation by Wainwright was that right there, Freeman was going to curl it. Freeman kind of cut it off, and Lewis able to make the steal.
So Lewis will be at the line. And Mo Cox is trying to get into the ball game here. 17:54 to play. It hasn't been an issue getting in. It's been staying in for him.
Yes. I think, you know, it's going to say 2 minutes in the stat sheet, but he hasn't played 30 seconds. He's picked up 2 fouls.
Omni to the bench.
That's a body right there. That's the best body in college basketball. I mean, man.
He's been a starter the last 2 years, and now his coach brings him off the bench. Very physical player. 4th all-time in school history in block shots. And playing his 111th game, but trying to stay in the game. Bounce feed, slick feed to Motley. Can't finish, but the second effort he does.
Yeah, and again, they started him on the elbow, and they rolled him into the block. Early into the first half, they were just sitting him on the block, where Burgess was able to get set up. By rolling him into the block, he's able to swarm over Burgess, back him down, and get position.
Well, you talked about him in the open coming on the air as the guy to watch, and you can see why. He could be a tremendous factor in this league.
There's no question, and he can shoot the ball. He's not a bad shooter at all. Doesn't really shoot out to the three-point line yet. He will.
Tipped away by LeConte. Up against Lewis with the left hand for 2.
Well, that's the first sign of life from LeConte. He has not been active, and it's not necessarily been his fault. It's been Jonathan Williams and Lewis guarding the heck out of him.
VCU by 4 and with the ball. Point guard Williams to set up the play. A senior from Dixon, Tennessee. Lewis dumping it down for Mo Cox, working hard. He's tough to stop.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do when you're going to let him, as Anchul did, get the post position down there. Nothing you can do. He's too big, he's too strong, he's too experienced.
LeConte wants his own shot. A misfire. And Doty's fouled from behind by LeConte. Maybe some mounting frustration for him.
Should be, because he's being outplayed by guys playing harder. All right, right here's Motley, okay? This is where you get him open. He's got a little room here. So now he's able to go into the post, and you see he has Burgess buried, and everybody is spread out. If you just start him in the post, Burgess has been able to fight around him, but by moving him into the post, he gets a little room.
Could be a key. LeConte, point guard, just picked up his 3rd. And a ton of time remaining. The entry from Mo Cox. Not there. Motley with a rebound. Baylor has already picked off a top 5 opponent. And now trying to rally against VCU, who could wind up in the top 25 pretty soon. Motley close in for 2 more.
Again, he was out on the floor and able to move into the post. Great patience by Motley right there. He knew he was bigger than Burgess, so he went at him. There was no fade.
11.7 rebounds for him. Mo Cox on the baseline. And it comes free to Baylor. Here's LeConte on the attack. He steps back at 3. That grazes the iron. Rebound loose, and it struck Motley on his right foot. A tie-up, and it'll go the other way on the possession arrow. So VCU will have it. Baylor looking to close that gap, now down by 4, and looking for Jonathan Motley, the 6'10 junior.
Kickstart my heart, baby. Jonathan Motley has been Dr. Feelgood all day long here, particularly late when a great adjustment by Scott Drew. He decided to get Motley out of the block where he didn't have to just bang. He moved Motley to the elbow, then rolled him to the post. And Motley has been exceptionally effective. Our friend Fran Fraschilla says he's the best. He's the best forward in the Big 12, and when Fran says it, I believe it.
If you had been able to sneak in girls, girls.
I didn't know if it was appropriate.
I would have really been
I did not know if it was appropriate to go girl. You know, people are so sensitive these days.
Yes, they are. 40-36 VCU, and with the ball. We do have 3 days. We got plenty of time.
Oh, man.
Burgess. Shot clock down to 7.
I love me some metal.
Tillman with a miss.
Girls, girls, girls.
One of my favorites. Paradise Island, Bahamas. Great to have you with us. Dan Dockich, Dave O'Brien. The champion will be crowned on Friday. Motley with a miss in close.
Yeah, that's where Motley has to get better. He was very uncomfortable after he received contact from Cox. He was not on balance.
Tillman on the low block. That's a pretty scoop shot to the other side of the iron.
Great adjustment to the zone by Coach Wade. He brought the two posts in. He's got Tillman, he's got Cox. He put Cox on the block and ran Tillman back and forth on the baseline where he's very comfortable.
VCU shooting 53%. And a whistle at the top of the key here. Back to Tillman underneath a moment ago.
It's a real skill to be able to play on the baseline. Baseline in the middle, you just have to know your way around, and they played a lot of basketball. Tillman with not only a great hairdo, but he made a nice finish there with the right hand on the left side.
They're going to have several candidates for the all-hair team.
They do. I like it.
Some sharp looks. Now look at the fouls. VCU with just one so far in the half. Doty just picked up his second. And there, of course, is one of our all-time favorites, Jonathan Williams, the junior. Approaching 14 minutes to go here in the second quarterfinal of the day. On the block, Maston wants to hook it up. Rebounded away by Tillman.
Tillman got way up. Remember, he had 20-plus rebounds against Dayton last regular season game last year. That kid has a nose for the ball.
Right, 20. Here's Burgess to let fly. Short. Lindsay trying to find the lane. Maston working underneath, will draw the foul, and he'll be at the line for two.
Yeah, I thought Lindsay may have gone too far, but Maston was able to negotiate. When you take the ball in transition to the basket against VCU, you got to go through a ton of bodies. And Maston got a little bit bailed out there because he didn't really have a good look, but he was able to get a shot up and got a foul.
That's Mo Alley Cox, number 3 for the senior. He started the day in immediate foul trouble. As Maston buries the first, so he's going to have to come out. And it'll be Hamdi coming on for him. Ahmed Hamdi. Maston, 8 out of 9 on the season from the line. 42-38, the Rams. Burgess on the wing. The feed, but Tillman could not handle it.
Well, that was a really good feed. You know, that's a ball you don't have the ability to bounce that very high, and he had to slip it through, and I thought he did a pretty good job here. Burgess got to make this play. I mean, it's not the greatest pass, but you got a lot of arms in there. You got to get it through, and it got through.
Swatted out of play by Hamdi, who can get up there, and he's up there already at 6'9".
Obi, he's been good today, right?
Really?
I mean, really good. I mean, Hamdi has been, look at him coming from the top here, times it perfectly. Puts in the third row.
Jake Lindsay to get it in, looking for help over the top for Mitchell. Lindsay's open from 3. Yes.
It's the best look they've had all day. Guy taking it out of bounds. Everybody forgot about, went to his spot, drilled it. Really, it's the first open, really good 3 they've gotten all day against VCU.
First one they've hit all afternoon. It draws Baylor to within 1. Brooks for Tillman, draws the double. And throws it into the backcourt. Freeman lets it roll out of play on the turnover, so Baylor will have it.
You know, you hear it all the time. You got to make sure you guard the inbounder. Well, you see number 3, Lindsay. He inbounds it. Everybody's head is turned. Tillman has no idea, and Lindsay finds the right spot. Tillman needs to come out of his game. He's hurting VCU. He's missed a pass, lost one out, threw one away, and then had no idea on the inbounds where to go.
And indeed, out he comes. 12.5 minutes to go here. Maston, quick spin. That won't fall. Tip to the corner, out of play, and back the other way it goes.
Yeah, Tillman needs somebody to tell him something, and he needs to listen. Now, it's great. His friend is trying to talk to him, and he's not looking at him. That doesn't do anybody any good. You've got somebody that cares enough about you to tell you and help you, and you don't pay attention to him. That's ridiculous.
Tillman's been out the last couple of games because of a foot injury. Saved over to VCU. Here comes Williams. Lewis thought about the 3. Williams with contact, no whistle, buries it.
Hey, how strong was Williams? He just knocked the defender off of him. Defender went flying. Williams stayed on balance. I love Jonathan Williams.
Very strong upper body.
Yeah, he's tremendous. He plays hard both ends. Great leader. He's terrific. You win a lot of games with a guy like Jonathan Williams.
He's a junior. Freeman, scoop shot. Rolls off and tipped up and in by Motley.
Now we're getting serious about this game. You haven't heard a whistle in a while. Now they're playing.
You like that sound of silence.
Oh, do I like it.
Now Motley's had a very good day. 13 points, 8 rebounds. Closing in on a double-double.
Don't you like the sound?
Oh, I sure do.
I know you do.
I like fluid basketball. A foul in the lane as Motley may get hit with a personal here with 11:26 to go. Indoors in the Bahamas, at least for a little while longer. 11:26 to go here in the second half, and then we're going to be out in the sunshine like a lot of folks here. But this game is tightened up, turned into a good one. VCU by 1.
Yeah, really good. VCU's gotten this kid going. It's not Vince Neal, it's Jonathan Motley who's gotten going here in the second half. And a really good coaching move by Scott Drew, moving Motley around and not just holding him down in the post.
He had 17.7 rebounds in their upset of Oregon, when Oregon was the number 4 team in the country. VCU with the ball is Jonathan Williams, who's been so efficient. Hamdi and another back down, left it shy.
Did you see Hamdi tried to body up Motley? Motley didn't budge. Made Hamdi shoot from about 5 feet farther than he wanted to.
He'll operate here, backing down to his right and draws the contact.
Oh, I like it. They got everybody on the left side. Obi said a little ball screen, pick and pop action on the right with LeCompte. And honest to goodness, Motley won't go into work. Look, nobody's there. Everybody's kind of out of the way. And Hamdi is not going to stop a moving Motley. He can stop a stationary Motley, not a moving Motley.
Well, that's the 3rd foul on Ahmed Hamdi. So that's of concern with about 11 minutes to go, especially as well as he's played. So Motley with another one coming, buries it. And so Baylor has the lead, 45-44.
Yeah, the decision comes for Coach Wade. You mentioned Hamdi. Mo Ali Cox, 3 fouls, only played 6 minutes. So you go back to him, I think you do. I do. I think you put Mo Ali Cox in until he fouls out. He's not going to shoot free throws anyway. And then you go back with Hamdi.
Hamdi, quick move, lost control of it. Wild shot. Wainwright there to collect it.
Yeah, and Chul out. Motley in the middle of that zone has changed it.
Oh, look at Williams jumping up for the theft. In transition now. Gives it up for Lewis. His jumper on target with a 3-pointer.
Hey, how about Lewis? Lewis stole it from LeCompte, and then, even though he was off balance, beat LeCompte down the floor and was able to get the ball to Lewis. That was a great play by Jonathan Williams.
And as mentioned, Mo Ali Cox on the floor again.
Yeah, I didn't get fired because I couldn't coach.
Approaching the 10-minute mark. VCU clinging to a 2-point lead.
All right, now for Baylor, someone's going to have to hit a jump shot. Someone's going to have to hit a 3-point shot. Mark my words, Baylor wins this game. They're going to hit 2 threes late.
Motley, too strong, draws the foul again, this time on Burgess.
Motley's just going now. You can put Motley anywhere you want, and he's going to get it done. As I said, really good by Scott Drew, getting him moving.
Hey, tonight after the T-Wolves and Pelicans, stick around for SportsCenter at night with Bucci and Anderson. They'll have the NBA, NHL, college basketball, all the highlights. SportsCenter at night after the NBA on ESPN. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. So Motley to shoot again, VCU by 1. He has been tremendous here in the second half. Good foul shooter, too.
Well, the foul line has been home sweet home for Motley. How many references do I have left? None.
You're almost out of the top 20 hits as Mo Ali Cox gets in where he likes it to stuff it.
Yeah, you had to get Hamdi out of it. Hamdi was struggling against Motley, and Mo Ali Cox found himself a little space, and he's going to dunk everything.
Round the back give here to Maston. Got it.
Why not? What a great pass. And Maston was ready for it. He sat down, got his feet together, knocked it in.
Very stylish pass by Manu LeCompte. to tie the game 49-49. Williams looking. O'Malley Cox working in that paint. Brooks got airborne and he traveled with it. He did not know what to do and the defender came out on him.
Well, this is why you put it big on the baseline right here. You throw it ahead, and the big's running the baseline right now. He's getting underneath the defense. When you play behind the defender can't see you. And Motley should have turned his head, but O'Malley Cox, being a veteran, got behind the defense.
6 ties, 5 lead changes in our second game of the day. And LeCompte missed badly there. Rebound comes out high to O'Malley Cox.
Yeah, LeCompte needs to figure out this game isn't about him. This is a game about his team. And he's taking this a little too personal.
Williams, that's going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah. This is going to be, when we replay it, it's going to look like Wainwright's moving. Watch, but this is a charge. I know people are going to say he's moving, but he was squared up to the offensive player, so I think that's a really good call. He's entitled to that space just as much as Jonathan Williams is entitled to that space.
Looked like a good call.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to say, oh, he was moving. Yes, he was, but you can be moving as long as you're at the space first.
Tied at 49, Baylor with the ball.
Now I'm going to Motley. I'm figuring out how to move him however you feel comfortable.
He gets a touch from 18, dumping it down to Wainwright. Baston came crashing in, and a foul on the deck. That foul will go against VCU. They'll get O'Malley Cox for number 4.
And it was a good call. O'Malley Cox undercut on the rebound. He came in hip first, and the referee had a great line of sight on it and made the absolute right call, and now Cox has to sit with 4.
He simply has not been able to do a whole lot today because he's been in foul trouble since Jump Street.
This is college basketball. Obi, he would have been able to play in the first game. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Really, he would have. Right or wrong.
Baston with a miss. Big rebound by Wainwright to keep it alive.
He played well. Charge on one end, comes up with a rebound there, gets him a second look.
And now the possessions begin to mean more and more. LeCompte slamming on the brakes. Baston hooks. Yes.
Again, Scott Drew. Now you've got Motley who can shoot it from the top of the key free throw line area, going to that spot, and Maston is stepping over Burgess. Tough to guard that high-low.
So it's Baylor by 2. The Rams have it. Williams trying to penetrate. Lewis has it. Shot clock down to 3. Hamdi, right side, and banks it in.
He just forced that up. He went away from Motley. Wainwright came a little too late. Got it to go.
So back and forth we go.
It's a good game, really good game. 2 teams that are very good teams playing really hard.
Wainwright needs a guard back up top for Mitchell. 6 to shoot. The junior point guard to transfer from Miami. Shredding the D, but could not finish that one. And now Williams to the foul line. Keeps on going. The gift to Hamdi, stripped away. Wainwright comes free with it.
Wainwright again. Got to make one here.
LeCompte
can't do it today.
Airmailed it. Very tough day shooting. And another foul on VCU. Trying to slow down Motley. Not going to do it on my own. Mama didn't raise any fool. $6.57.
How about for $20?
Well, maybe for 20. Okay, let's talk about it after this one's done. But we get almost 7 minutes to go, and tied at 51.
This is a great game. These 2 teams are very good. You're going to see all year long Baylor and VCU are going to be in the mix in their league. They're going to play great games. And this kid here, Motley, number 5, has been a difference maker in the second half.
Well, he has a double-double for the game. 17 points, 10 rebounds. Look at him as opposed to the rest of the team. He has been carrying them.
And I give, as I said, the coaching staff of Baylor great credit because it wasn't working. And when it's not working, it's your job as a coach to figure out how to make it work. And Scott Drew et al. moved Motley to the elbow. They put him out on the court a little bit, rolled him into the block, paired him up with different guys, put him in the middle of his zone, and it's really worked out well. Got him back in the game.
Will Wade has his point guard, Jonathan Williams, on the bench for now, but he doesn't want him sitting very long. He's such a huge part of their attack, offensively and defensively. Lewis nearly took a three-pointer. Brooks in the corner. Lindsay out on it. Lewis can't hit. And the rebound comes back to Baylor, and here they come with a 2-point lead.
This is bad business for Baylor. Watch for Brooks trying to get a steal here.
Lindsay able to keep it away from him. Lindsay still dribbling, now gives it up. Finally flipping up top here. And the Bears will set up a play, leading 53-51. Freeman stepping in and connects.
Boy, it looked like the shot was going to be blocked from Hamdy, but Freeman, who absolutely knows how to score, was able to step around, use his body, and finish.
The Bears have been surging here since halftime. Now lead by 4.
Better stay with Lewis.
Doty. Hamdy just lost it.
That's bad pass. That's a bad pass, Obi. He threw that ball hard outside, and Hamdy was battling the post guy. Had only really one arm to catch it, couldn't handle it. He got to throw it into his body, not away from his body in that case.
So now every turnover means more and more here. 5.5 minutes left. Freeman around the screen. Stripped and knocked out of play. They'll keep it here. Baylor will retain with 6 on the shot clock. And now Williams is back on along with Mo Alley-Cox.
Well, these are their 2 toughest guys. And in Williams' case, he's been playing as well as anybody. And in Mo Alley-Cox's case, he ought to be fresh. He's only played about 9 minutes. He's had foul trouble. So I look for them to go to Cox down the stretch here.
Entry pass out of play off Baylor.
Lindsay handling the basketball is not good. That pass was rushed on an angle that Achul just could not handle it.
Jake Lindsay, the sophomore out of Houston. Williams to run the point for VCU, trailing by 4. Doty in close, can't connect. And Alley-Cox hit on the play, and he'll be at the line. Just under 5 minutes to go, fouled by Wainwright. That'll be his second. Mo Alley-Cox, a senior out of Alexandria, Virginia. Very high basketball IQ, also a 2-time A-10 all-academic selection. And time for Hoop Scoop! And here's our Hoop Scoop. Mo Alley-Cox interned at the Virginia General Assembly this summer.
Pretty good summer to intern in politics. You're certainly going to learn something. Good, bad, happy, or sad. You're going to never a dull moment.
There's a lot of all of that.
Yeah.
As it turned out.
Yeah, right.
55-53. Wainwright brings it across. To LeConte, the point guard from Brussels, Belgium. Here's Freeman. Motley with another touch. Back to the point guard. Wainwright cross court. Freeman has a shot and sticks the three-pointer.
Now, we said it earlier. Someone's going to have to make a shot. And I'm telling you, Ish Wainwright has played a great basketball game. He just made the skip pass to Freeman. He's taken one shot. He's been terrific. Help side defense. He's made all the right passes. He's hustled. And a great pass right there for 3.
Baylor by 5. 10 on the shot clock now for the Rams. Here's Brooks for 3. Did not return the favor. And LeConte had it knocked away from him. VCU thinks he just lost it on his own. But it was ruled off of VCU. And now they are going to change their mind. So we have a timeout on the floor. 3:59 to go. 10 Louisville at 9:30, the fourth and final game here on day one.
You've seen a lot of good teams already this year. Where's Wichita State fit for?
They are right at the very top for me, and I've seen Kentucky already 2 or 3 times, seen Duke play. And I'll tell you what, Wichita State, no question, they're a top 15 team.
I agree. I mean, I thought what they did this afternoon was just as good as you're going to find.
Lewis took a look at that shot clock, down to 10. He penetrates and kicks and knocked away and stolen away by the Bears.
Yeah, good rotation by Motley. He saw it, got his right hand in, made the steal, tipped it away.
He's had a standout day, offensively and defensively, for the Baylor Bears, and leading them in scoring with 19. LeConte back to Motley. On the fake, working on Mo Alley Cox. The swing up top now for Freeman. He drives it and spins it in on a reverse.
Well, that was because Motley was posting up and Mo Alley Cox was on the high side, couldn't get around Motley to help. As we said earlier, you got to go north and south against guys in the stance playing good defense. East or west doesn't get it done. Freeman went north and south.
So Baylor, with about 3 minutes to go, opens up their biggest lead of the game. Doty can't connect. Mo Alley Cox keeps that alive. Burgess can't hit. And a whistle. 2:45 left.
Well, Freeman's going to be, one of the good scorers. Not great, but just a really good scorer in college basketball. He gets right by Burgess. And as you saw, Mo Alley Cox couldn't get there in time. He's on the high side. He can't fight around. And tough for Jonathan Williams to get from the point guard on down. Really good look by Freeman. Great take.
And Jonathan Motley just picked up foul number 4. And that puts the freshman Doty at the line.
You might go offense defense here for about 45 seconds with Motley. That would be it. 4 fouls, 2.5, 2:45. You got to be able to play through it. But if you're going to do anything, you would let Motley play on offense, and if you get a stoppage, take him out for the defensive possession.
Well, Burgess comes out for VCU, and the 6'9" Hamdi is back on. 5-point lead for Baylor and the basketball. Wainwright gives it back to the point guard, LeConte. He's got Williams on him, and that's no picnic. On the drive, kicks it out for Wainwright. Shot clock at 5. Now to 4. Now to 2, and the heave, and off target by Freeman. So they whittle that shot clock all the way down. Now Williams shreds the D, but can't finish. And it's knocked out of play. It'll stay on this end.
Man, what a move by Williams. He got right past LeCombe, just let him go. And Williams just couldn't finish. Not sure LeCombe's going to make that Olay kind of a whoa. Just wasn't able to spin it in.
Hamdi. He's fouled on the play by the 7-footer, Luol Achuola.
Well, what happened was Achuola didn't know what defense they were in. He kind of thought they were in man-to-man, and Motley was telling him during the possession to get in the middle, and the confusion led to the foul.
So the big fella picks up his 3rd. And it's Hamdi to the line where he makes 63% and misses on the first one. Just over 2 minutes to go. Game 2 of 4 here on day 1 at Atlantis. The Bears up by 4. 1:55 to play.
Boy, do I like this move by Will Wade. Will Wade has taken Jonathan Williams and put him on Freeman.
LeConte, bit of a stumble, kicks it out from Motley. On the attack, not there for him, and slapped out of play. It'll stay right here.
I thought Motley had an easy jump shot. He traveled twice in that possession when all he had to do was shoot a little 15-footer. That tells you as a coach, close out on him short. Make him shoot that because he's not comfortable right now.
Nearly a mishandle there, but LeConte comes away with it, and a foul by Doty.
Well, that's exactly what you did not want to do. You're pretty locked in defensively with Jonathan Williams taking on Freeman and Doty on LeConte, but a freshman mistake got too close. That's the last thing you wanted.
LeConte's a good foul shooter, too, as he goes to the stripe here, 80%. 1 for 2 today and hits the first. 61-56. Baylor looking for some separation here as he hits the pair. So VCU needs to find a hot hand here.
And Baylor needs to find Lewis. You can't let Lewis get an open shot here against his zone.
Doty up against Motley. He's not going to win that battle. Lewis thought about the three. Williams now.
But Freeman came out with a high hand. Wasn't going to let him get a shot.
Yep, shot clock down to 8. Hamdi, mid-range, yes, and a shot they really needed. And a timeout, VCU. Hey, Doug, thank you very much. 1:10 to go, and Baylor on top, 62-58. So down the stretch we come, and LeConte, the point guard, trying to run a little bit of clock here for the Bears. Williams sticking to him. He has been all day, but down the lane he goes. Oh! And he made the shot, and he'll go to the line. What a big play by the little guard.
First time all day he's been able to go on the go. He took it right at Jonathan Williams. Right there, he goes right by him, and then Hamdi comes over and takes it hip to hip and gets the finish. What a great play by a kid who's really struggled today. Look at that, hip to hip. That's Steph Curry-like.
They had been just 2 for 11 shooting it before that, but the three-point play makes it 65-58. A giant play.
Huge. Now you got to find Lewis.
Here's Lewis from 3. Yeah, he hits the 3.
How could he possibly get a shot is what Scott Drew is thinking. He may stay with the team and not say that, but Obi, the only guy that has made anything today is Lewis. Look at this. I know you're going to say they guard him. I know, but he can't get one. I'm telling you, he's right there. He shot it. Now whatever happens after doesn't matter. All right. Now you got to handle the basketball against a tough VCU team.
Well, the star of the second half for this Baylor Bears team has certainly been the 6'10 junior from Houston, Jonathan Motley.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job. You see here, everything's going to the basket. He's fouled his own a few times. You see one right there. And it's just been a difference maker. He's been able to have his way inside because Scott Drew and the staff at Baylor moved him around. They helped him out, which is what good coaches do. It's pretty good.
So a 4-point game, 42 seconds to play. LeConte fouled in the backcourt by Lewis with 37.9 showing on the clock.
I don't pretend to know Baylor basketball over the last few years and their leadership, but I'll tell you this much. Ishmael Wainwright is fantastic for this basketball team. Ishmael Wainwright, number 24, gets the guys together. He leads, he talks, he makes all the tough plays. He's had one shot all game, and his impact has been as big as anybody's in this entire ball game.
He plays like a senior.
Which he is and which he should do. You know, because he's an experienced guy. You're exactly right, Obi. He should play that way, too.
Baylor up 67-61. Lewis another 3. Not this time. Hamdi trying to keep it alive. A battle for that. LeConte is hit again. They may be fouling the wrong guy.
Yeah.
He looks very confident at the line. 27.5 seconds to go.
I can't say enough about that finish from LeConte because, Obi, we're sitting here watching him, and he was way off on jump shots. Hadn't even been close. But, man, game time, crunch time, big shot time, that kid delivered big time.
Took the hit, made the three-point play, and it was a dazzler. And he's back to the line. Ball net on the first one.
Transfer from Miami has been huge in the last minute.
He's also a career 43% beyond the three-point line and an excellent foul shooter. That opens up an 8-point lead. Williams handing off. Lewis again, and he's fouled in the act of shooting a 3.
And they want goaltend. I don't think they're going to get goaltend. The ball was underneath the cylinder.
Going to get 3 shots, though.
Yes.
Take a look. Yeah, the catch when it was under the cylinder.
Yeah.
So that foul is going to go against Motley, and he has fouled out with an outstanding day behind him, a double-double.
Well, he got going in the second half. He got going on the block. He got going from the elbow. And you know what? Not only did he play well and score, but he made his teammates better. Made some nice high-low passes, was able to draw attention to himself. Really good second half by Motley.
So Lewis will get 3 shots. And the first one on the way hits it. Let's go back to what they wanted was a goaltend here, and
wow,
it's close.
Angles are deceiving. This angle is very, very deceiving. It wasn't, to our eye, it wasn't nearly that close.
Not as much as on that replay.
Right.
Lual-Acuil catching that one under the cylinders. No goaltending, but Lewis makes 2 out of 3. And tipped out of play by Brooks, so the Bears will keep it. 19.7 to play. And a 6-point lead for the Bears.
Well, you're in a good spot, but this is not over. We've seen VCU with this quickness out here come up with the ball.
And a foul. No time going off the clock there. So 69-63. Baylor coming in ranked number 20. Foul will go against Burgess, and that's number 3 on him for VCU. And they keep sending Manu LeConte to the line, and he keeps making them. He is 8 out of 9 at the foul line today.
I'm not sure he's touched the rim in these last 6 and 5.
Now Baylor doing an excellent job of getting the ball to him so he gets fouled.
Yeah.
71-63. VCU running out of time. The step back 3 too strong. Rebound cradled by the Baylor Bears, and VCU will not foul. And so Baylor, with a second half surge, is going to win this one. And a really nice win against an excellent Ram team.
Big time team win. We talked about LeCombe late. We talked about Azul early. Ish Wainwright, Freeman, and of course Motley and his crew did a great job, and they move on to the next round.
Indeed they do, against the winner of Michigan State and St. John's, which is coming up at 7. And Wichita State already into the second round. Very entertaining game here today in the Bahamas. Baylor wins it by a final score of 71-63.